the first part that we'll create ourselves is going to be the shelf. So we'll open up a new part, make sure we're working in MMGS. We'll click the top plane, and we'll sketch ourselves a center rectangle at the origin with a 500 millimeter width and a 350 millimeter height. Then exit the sketch and extrude the sketch to be 20 millimeters high and press OK. You should end up with a very simple shelf. This will be used in the assembly, so we'll just go ahead and save that as the cabinet shelf or just shelf. Then we'll close this here, open a new part, and for this we're going to make a shelf pin. This is the support that's going to hold the shelf to the cabinet. To do this, we'll select the front plane and we'll sketch on that front plane. Now this is just my method of making this shelf pin. Of course you can make it many different ways. You're free to do any way that you see fit. I'm just showing you guys the fastest and most efficient way that I know. Of course, like I said, anything that you guys want to do is sufficient. Just make sure that it works out at the end of the day and you're not cutting any corners. But this is the way that I'm going to do it. So to start, I'll make a 20 by 20 rectangle. So it's just a center rectangle and dimension 20 and 20. Then I'm going to draw a line from the side and from the bottom. Okay, we'll delete this extra line here. And you'll see here the result is this little L inside of the square. What I'll do is I'll trim this outside line from that outside line to end up with just the L. And I'm going to dimension these as 5 and 5. Okay, so we have this L of 5 millimeter width with the outer dimensions of 20 by 20. I'll exit that sketch. I'll go to features and extrude the sketch with mid-plane and 20 set again. Press OK. It's very important here that you select the mid-plane extrusion. So right here you'll see it says mid-plane. You have to select mid-plane in order for my method to work. This is the most efficient way that I've come up with doing it, but it only works if you select mid-plane as the type of extrusion. Okay, so from here, click again on your front plane and create a new sketch on the front plane. And what you'll do very quickly, from the bottom left corner of the L there to this bottom left, then back to the corner here and there, you see we create this triangle. We'll exit the sketch and now we'll extrude that sketch by 4 millimeters mid-plane. So select mid-plane, select 4 millimeters and click OK. Alright, so we can kind of see this is essentially a bracket. The last sketch we'll do is on this surface here, the top of our bracket, so just click the top to open up a new sketch. We'll use a center point circle and we'll dimension this to be 5 millimeters in diameter. Then we'll exit the sketch. Okay, it's got an isometric view. We'll extrude the last sketch we just made by 10 millimeters, just a regular blind extrusion, no mid-plane this time. And then we're going to use the fillet of 2 millimeters and we'll end up with this. So this is our shelf pin. This will be used to mount our shelves in the cabinet. So we'll just save this as shelf pin, and that's it for our components.